Starting out, I told myself I want my camera to take me around the world. I want to travel the world, and I want to travel with artists. I want to be a documentarian. I want to be the cat jump off the plane. Bah, 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 bah. I want to catch you in the airport. Bah, bah, bah. I want all that. I am Shannon McCollum. As I would like to say, I'm a photodocumentarian. This is my almost 31st year shooting. About 90 or 91 is when I started. So right out of college, I jumped right into it. And, I don't know if I can jump in and tell my background. Is that cool? Or you want to start? Okay, cool. So first off, this is super exciting for me. This is super exciting because photography for me is such a passion. And you'll know when it's a passion for you when every day you look at things as an image. Your everyday existence is an image. You know, I dream of images. My dad still is a photographer. He was one of the first Black photojournalists at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So to grow up in the 70s and 80s and have a dark room in the house, you know, and to smell those chemicals and to see those negatives, you know, hanging in. My dad was one of the fortunate ones that he really invested in his business. So we had a color printer, like we had not just print black and whites, but we had a color printer. We could print up to 16 by 20s. And we're talking about a machine with chemicals and the whole thing. So I was very fortunate to see that at an early age. I was also very fortunate to grow up with a house that looked like this, just pictures everywhere on the wall, just everywhere. So when whether you know it or not, that's kind of programming, right? It's you see it. Your dad go to work every day with a camera, not a suitcase. You know, you got a refrigerator full of film. You know, as a little guy, you seeing this stuff, and you like, you know, people coming over to the house taking headshots. I'm helping my dad set up his tripods and his lights and strobes and at the time I still didn't even want to be a photographer. You know, it wasn't even close to anything I thought of, but I was being groomed, if you will. I was being groomed from a young age. You know, just going to something you guys probably didn't really get the chance to experience because we're in a digital age now. But going to the photo lab, going to the 1 hour lab, getting film processed. You know, all that's it was a process for me growing up, and it was very exciting. So to be in a room full of photographers is everything to me. It's awesome. I'm just as inspired by you as hopefully you will be by me and my story. I growing up in Atlanta, in our community, the cool thing was probably around by the time I getting ready to graduate from high school, was the rap scene was starting to pop in Atlanta. You know, it was starting to bubble. You know, I was at Clark in 1990. First, I was inspired by the reason I picked up a camera. You know, in the back of my head was my dad. But my homeboy at Morehouse went to his apartment and he had a studio and all his pictures on the wall were so dope. They were so dope. Like my parents' house was pictures everywhere were his assignments. So whatever the newspaper had him do that day, you know, like Michael Jordan's rookie year, you know, we got pictures of Michael Jordan, you know, with hair, when he had hair, you know. Dominique when he was wearing a box fade, you know, it was, you know, those little things. So that's what I saw. But when I went over my partner's house and saw his crib, he had pictures of like cool chicks on campus or dudes hanging out or whatever. And it was so different from what I was used to seeing that I went home. I immediately went home that day and was like, Dad, I want a camera. And he was like, what? You know, you never talked about wanting a camera. And I wanted the camera immediately. And to my advantage, I jumped right into a Canon AE1. And I already had is it the L series lens? What does Canon have? What's their top lens? It's the L series. I jumped right into an L series, which is not the easiest thing to do when you're first starting. You get your hands on what you can get your hands on, and you shoot, right? So I had an advantage to jump right into an L series, 70 to 200, 20 to, I don't know, 17 to 20, 35. So I had a little advantage over a lot of people because I already had nice equipment. But it ain't all about nice equipment. It's about what you can do with the camera. You know what I mean? My company is called Same Camera, Different Eye, LLC. That's my company. Because to me, we all got the same camera, pretty much. They all do whatever they do, but our eyes are totally different. We see things differently. And we choose to hit that shutter when we see something that appeals to us. So I told you, I'm in college, the rap game is starting to pop. And I never wanted to be a rapper, but I always wanted to be in the music industry. Always wanted to be in the music industry, the entertainment industry. And so I started studying two photographers besides my dad. Annie Leibovitz, anybody familiar with Annie Leibovitz's work? Yes, great portrait photographer. Also, she toured with the Rolling Stones, she toured with Led Zeppelin, and Gordon Parks. And those are the two people I study heavily. Gordon Parks, and I'm Shannon Parks, which is weird, but Gordon Parks, when he shot for Life magazine, when he shot for these fashion magazines in the 50s and 60s, you're talking about a black photographer going into white corporate America shooting, and with that being said, you have to have a certain decorum. You know what I mean? You don't have websites, you don't have nothing. You are selling yourself, which to me in 2022 is still as relevant as it was back then. You as artists, all of you guys as artists, probably everybody in this room is dope. I'm certain of it. But what sets you apart from the next man? How do you get that job that paid whatever over him? Okay, how do you do that? You could be dope all day, but sometimes being dope ain't enough. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just ain't enough. Sometimes enough eyes ain't seen your work. Sometimes enough people ain't talked about your work. So me going into the game, I decided that I wanted to really, 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 really brand myself. It's all about branding, right? Branding is everything. That's how eyes get on you. How else does eyes get on you? Confidence. When I started touring with artists back in the early 90s, nobody was taking photographers on the road. They wasn't. They just weren't. If anything close to you going on the road with an artist, it was a videographer. It was videographers got more love at the time than we did. And so what I did, I used to do a couple things. I used to first time what I call FaceTime, not on your phone FaceTime. Being everywhere that you needed to put yourself in front of people. Industry events, hanging with certain crowds that got me in certain places. FaceTime, being seen with your camera, right? Okay, you're a photographer. Oh, you shoot. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me see some work. Or back in the 90s, we walked around with big ass portfolios. Like a big portfolio, and you open your joint up and you went page to page and you showed your work and you talked about it. Now this is your portfolio. But it was really walking around with a portfolio. I got work off being seen in all the dope spots with my camera, and I enjoyed shooting. If you don't enjoy shooting, stop worrying about the bread. The money gonna come. That's on everything. The money is going to come. Love it first. Before you start charging this and that and all that, love it. Like for real, love it. Like my whole thing was don't even look at it like their project. Look at it like it's your project. Look at it like it's your project, because what happens is it becomes a part of your portfolio. Now now you get to show it to other clients. It's like an NFL player, okay? Let's take the cat from San Francisco, Debo. He wants to be traded, okay? He can demand a trade because he got a portfolio now. He done showed you what he can do. I don't have to talk it. I done showed you. I'm branding me. I'm not San Francisco. I'm not branding the 49ers. I'm branding me. So when it's time to get a bigger contract, they're gonna look at the work you put in. What kind of work did you put in? Me, in the beginning, I swear to God, I shot everything for free. I shot everything for free. I didn't even care. You know, people was like, man, why you gonna charge it, man? I just wanted to shoot, man. And the more I shot, let me tell you the next biggest gift that you guys already received, but you're gonna continue to get is the more you shoot, the people you shoot, they are now your sellers. They're talking about your work. They're talking about what you did. They're talking about was you punctual? Was you late? All that matters. When you deal with artists, all that matters. You may not think it matters, but it matters. So for me, I said, shoot, and get my work out here. Get my work. Wasn't no Instagram, wasn't no Facebook, wasn't none of that shit when I was shooting. It was word of mouth. We had business cards. We used to walk around with business cards. Okay? So the key for me back then was shoot a lot. And then it became, I used my full name. I didn't even have same camera different. I was Shannon McCollum. Anybody I met, I was Shannon McCollum. I wasn't Shannon. Shit, you might know another Shannon. I'm Shannon McCollum. Okay? I want my name to ring. I wanted to ring so you can remember me. So then that transpired is being seen with the camera. I was the dude with the camera everywhere. I was showing up to all the parties. I got in all the free shit. The other thing with shooting in this industry, don't just get to know the artist. For real. Even if the artists see your work and they think you dope, he ain't who you need to be, making sure they know who you are. You really need that road manager in your pocket. You need the tour manager. You need the assistants to fuck with you. You need am I learned to curse? We all grown, right? You need everybody to fuck with you, not just the artists. Because what happens is they put you in place. They set you up. You on their text message chain now. You in their emails. So when you shoot and you do a dope assignment, video shoot, you shoot BTS, whatever you're doing, kill it every time. And so you'll be remembered not only well, and they're going to be your biggest sellers. They're going to tell other managers to rock with you. They're going to tell other artists to rock with you. It's a trickle down effect. But the other side of that is be lazy. Be the nigga that's just chatting it up and your camera here instead of here. Be ready. Camera here or here, however you're shooting, be ready. If I see you, if I hire you, okay? And I peep you kicking and you hollering at that girl over there, and you hollering at her, and you missing moments. I'm paying attention. You missing moments that can't be restaged. You can't restage this shit. You gotta get it while it's out there. Okay? You gotta get it while it's out there. So the more you look like you are up here with it, you're ready. And when you're ready, you're capturing shit, you're catching shit. You're catching things that other people not catching because they bullshitting or they trying to do what, kick it to whoever at the shoot or whatever. The key is what I'm saying is be hella professional. All the time, even if it's just your comrades and it's just some people that look like you and you look like you can be cool and you look like you the nigga that can smoke a blunt with them and do all that. Don't. Be hella professional, be on time, and on time to me, early is on time is late. I got that from my grandmother. Early is on time is late. If you gotta be, if the shoot is at 3, be there at 2:45, be there at 2:30. Walk around and peep your spots. Peep what's around you. Peep. You know, they may want, you know, we got the studio backdrop. We want you to shoot this. Okay, well, I might want to shoot you on the brick. Or I might want to, you know, shit, I see something over here. Or I like this yellow chair. I might set you up. Be thinking of shots. I'm constantly thinking of shots. My subject, whoever my subject is, guess what I'm doing? I'm studying them. I'm studying their gestures. I'm studying their kind of laugh. I'm studying how you do when you're talking to somebody. I'm waiting on you to catch a pound so I can get that shot. I'm looking at everything, whoever I'm documenting. I am an overall looker. I'm looking at everything. When the makeup artist is getting ready to get her stuff together and put somebody in the chair, I'm on it. You put the cape on your artist or your client, I'm on it. You ain't asked for it, but I'm gonna capture that. It's a good look. Regardless, it's a good look. They ain't asked for it, but give it to them anyway. Whatever they ask you for, go way over. I go dumb over. And it sucks with the editing part, of course. We know we don't like going through all that shit, but you are more than protected. You got stuff that they asked for, and on top of stuff that they asked for, you got more stuff. Okay? So what happens to me? I decided, I told myself, I said, I want my camera to take me around the world. That's what I told myself. And whether you believe in the power of manifestation or not, it's real. It's you doubt yourself, okay, yourself telling you, okay, well shit, we can't really do that. We ain't that person. But if you constantly saying, even on bad days, even on fucked up days, even on fucked up shoots, even, you know, you forgot to charge your batteries for you left. You know, you left your SD card. You know, whatever it is, you have to put yourself in the mindset of, I'm finna, yo, let me just call my nigga, you know, yo, stop by the store for me real quick and bring an SD card. Whatever. Be in the mindset of, I'm not gonna fall. I'm gonna make this shit pop. So what that means is you don't go. I call it offense. I'm on offense. I'm constantly on offense. I'm trying to get down there and score. I'm telling myself I got 2 minutes. So I need to make that shit down there. I need to get down there. That's what's in here on me. Every time I gotta shoot, every time. Right now, I tour with George Lopez. I've been with George for 7 years now. I go out with him every weekend. All we doing is going city to city, theater to theater, comedy club to comedy club. I got so much of the same shit, but every night, every Friday or every Saturday night, we have a show. I am constantly saying to myself, okay, tonight, I'm gonna go up in the balcony. I'm gonna go shoot up in the balcony, okay? Most of the show, I'm gonna shoot behind the curtain and get that wide pan, okay? I'm gonna shoot from here. I'm always thinking, how can I be a little different? And there's so much I can get in the green room, you know. There's so much you can get, you know, coming off. We not on no bus. We coming off a plane, and you know, we fly private. I want to be the first one off the plane. Why? So I can get them shots. I can get my client coming off the plane. The key to shooting celebrities is they all full of their motherfucking self. I ain't telling you nothing you don't know. They are full of their self. So what's the key for you? Make them look good. Right? Make them look good, and they're gonna forever rock with you because you're doing just that. It's an ego thing, right? It's ego-based. But your key is to make your client look good. And the more you make your client look good, let me tell you something, man. How I jumped from rap to going to a guy that's, he told me last year, he said, Shannon, I made $100 million in my career. He said, I made $100 million from my TV. He's one of the only ones that own all his own TV shows. Everything, you know, the Lopez show, George Lopez, it's all his shit. So him telling me that was like, okay, you know what, man? I gotta continue to boss up. I gotta continue to do this. So, going back to rappers and shooting a lot of free shit. And let me tell you also a lick now, especially now. Print your work. Print your work. Looking at it over here is cool, but how inspiring this is to walk in the studio and see this shit on the wall. I've been doing this since the 90s and I'm still fucking inspired. I walk these halls out here and I'm still inspired by what Cam is doing. I'm like, this nigga is killing it because he's thinking. He's thinking. He ain't doing that and y'all ain't doing, but he's thinking forward. He's a forward thinker. You gotta push the limits. Cam ain't doing nothing that nobody in this room can't do. Ain't nobody doper than yourself if you really put that shit in your head. For real. I mean, and he's built the name for himself. So when you build a name and when you put the work in, they fuck with you. They gonna rock with you because whether you believe it or not, you are seriously important. Because now you're helping them build their brand. You're helping them tell their story. And that has always been my motto is how I sell myself is I'm gonna tell you how I'm about to make you look. I'm gonna tell myself how you're gonna look back at my images 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you're gonna be inspired by what we did and what you captured, or what I captured. Okay? How many of you go back and look at coffee table books and look at work from back in the day? Right? I have a slew of I used to sit up in Barnes & Noble and get a stack of books and just go through them, just be inspired by the work, and magazines, hip hop magazines, fashion magazines. You can be a hip hop photographer, and I used to subscribe to W and all these women magazines because the photography in there is so dope. So it inspired me to want to shoot rappers in the field or shoot. Just shoot. One time I shot Juvenile in a cemetery, because I was inspired by a shoot I saw in a fashion magazine. You know what I mean? So it's all, and also, which I think is very dope that you should do if you don't already, as you're always driving, location scout. Location scout. No matter where you're going. If it's a door, if it's a funky door that the paint is chipping, if it's a sidewalk, if it's whatever it is, location scout. And make a mental note and put it somewhere so you'll have it. Because what you're doing is you're building your catalog. You're building your catalog of locations. You're building your catalog of you might, it may not come back to you until 6 months down the line, and you'll say, you know what? I want to shoot this person over there that I saw, when I was riding, get my car washed about a week ago. You know what I mean? I saw this dope mural, and with the mural, a lot of times you don't even need the whole mural. You just need a piece of it. You just need to frame it. You know what I'm saying? You just want that little, whatever's going on. You want that. That's the way I see it. I don't have to see all that. I see that. You know what I mean? I see that. So be inspired by everyday shit. Be inspired by jumping in your whip and seeing shit. Be inspired by the way people, I wouldn't even have to shoot you, and I could watch you, and I'll know how I'll shoot you. I'll know. You know what I mean? I know what's your angle. Because I pay so much attention to people. That's why I love shooting artists, because not only are they eclectic, not only are they on a different vibe than the regulars. It allows you to think a little further on how I want to photograph. You first off always got to be like, damn, how I'm gonna shoot this person? How I'm gonna do this? You gotta go in with a game plan. Right? You got to have a mindset. So starting out, I told myself I want my camera to take me around the world. That's what I told myself. I don't want to pay for trips. I want to travel the world, and I want to travel with artists. I wanna be a documentarian. I wanna be the cat jump off the plane, bah, 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 bah. I wanna catch you in the airport, bah, bah, bah. I want all that. I was so inspired by what Gordon Parks did with the Black Panther Party. You know, I was so inspired by what Annie Leibovitz did with makeshift studios in hotel rooms. You know, I'm inspired by all of that. So I adopted pieces of other photographers and made it my own thing. I started touring. I think the first artist I started touring was Pastor Troy, Atlanta dude, and he was huge back in the day. He was that Atlanta thing, man. And we would do what they call the Chitlin circuit. And that's going, you know, hitting all the little Southwest, you know, Southeastern, whatever, you know, your Tennessees, your North Carolinas, your all that, right? And I would just study the dynamic of how nuts they would go. He would wait till he wouldn't even go on till 1:32 in the morning. Like he would wait till people got real nice and drunk. And by the time he would go on, it would be mayhem. And a lot of times, it's not even all about the artist. I want to capture what's going on out in the crowd. Like, you know, when people be wilding. I like that energy too. So I started with him, started shooting a lot of little local artists. And another thing is, if you can snag a couple big artists, no, let me start over. If you can snag some little artists and start shooting them and making, you know, that's a part of your portfolio, somebody's always connected. You know, and another thing for me that's very valuable and important besides your camera is your character. Your character's everything, man. What kind of cat are you? You know, you dope, but you know, are you an asshole to work with? Are you hard to work with? People take all that into consideration. What kind of person are you? Because I can find somebody that's dope with a good personality, good character, good vibe, good energy. Artists that's already popping. Like I toured with John Legend for 5 years. Artists that's already popping, they'll replace your ass quick. But if you come with a good vibe and you come with you ain't trying to be their friend, don't ever do that shit. Don't be trying to be their friend, you know, and he at their jokes and all that shit. No, you're there to work. Always remember that. You are there to be a fly on the wall, if you will. You know what I mean? They don't even need to know you're there. You need to be capturing moments, and they need to forget that you're even there. That's the thing. Also, if you're in situations where you're shooting in studios, you're shooting in rooms or whatever, don't be the dude. Don't be this dude. Don't be the person that's always flashing. Learn how to shoot without a flash. Learn how to shoot without always having to use a flash. Know your ISOs. Be okay with getting some warm shots, capture the vibe of the room. Don't always pow. Niggas are like, don't be that person, because what it becomes is it becomes annoying. It becomes oh, the photographer's here, because you like pow, you pow. One time I was in the green room with Dave Chappelle, and it wasn't dark, but it was low lit. And also, don't do no sneaking shit. If you're gonna shoot. Because they know. If you're trying to slick and do some shit, nah, man. They know. Because they done been in those type of situations so many times where somebody's trying to sneak a photo or whatever. If you're gonna shoot. You got a camera, you're a photographer. It's the reason you're in the room in the first place. You don't get put in those situations if you're not some type of, person that I trust. I'm not finna have you. Listen, I was in the room with Eddie Murphy, and I almost fucking flipped because I done shot some of everybody. But George does this party every year, and it's called Who Weed in My Pool. And it's a big weed pool party. He got people walking around passing out joints and edibles, and it's at his crib, and so that's what he called it. The very first one, he had about 5 or 6 of them now. The very first one, Eddie Murphy came. And I said, wow, ain't no security, ain't nobody to be like, oh, what you doing? You know, it ain't none of that. I'm just in a room with George, his brother Charlie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy. And so my camera's here because Eddie just walked in, so I don't want to be the dude that's like, you know, it's Eddie Murphy, you know. Although that's how my heart was running, but you don't want to be that person either. So what I'm telling myself in my head now is I'm saying, how many times you gonna be in the room with Eddie Murphy? How many? This is it, bruh. This is it. Take your chance, pop one off, see if he trip. If he doesn't trip, pop a few more off. What I do? Pop. Put my camera down for a minute. He didn't say nothing. Shit. Pop, pop, pop. You know, and shot some more. And then I left him alone. I wasn't finna be all, you know. That's the thing, celebrities. Don't be hella extra. You know what I mean? Don't be hella extra. When I was touring with John Legend, we were in Paris. And I got a little video on YouTube of this day too. But his tour manager, again, because I decided that I wasn't gonna try to be all whatever with John. I'm in with the tour manager. The tour manager is the one that told me, hey, you can shoot here, you can shoot there, you can shoot wherever you want to shoot. John ain't gonna tell me that. You know, the artist's not gonna tell you that. They speak, whatever, and then they really off into their world. They ain't trying to act like they rock with you, although they know they need you, but they ain't trying to act like you know how they do. So, the tour manager said, we got a special guest. I can't say who it is right now, but you know, in a minute he'll be coming up in the dressing room. So I'm gonna see if I can find the picture. I wanna, as I tell this story, I wanna. Oh, I might not have posted it, but it was Kanye. It was Kanye and Amber Rose, and so Kanye walks in. I'm catching Kanye and John, you know, having a thing, you know, having a moment. This is not the shot, but this is the day. This is not the shot I wanted to show, but this is the day. I am sitting on the opposite end of the couch of Ye. Okay? Not this shot, but another shot. John done went on stage now, you know, and so now it's me, Ye, it's Amber, and now John's wife at the time was his girlfriend. I forget her name. I'm sitting on the end of the couch and I'm having another moment. When are you gonna ever be in the room with Kanye again like this? So I turned my camera over and I took a shot. He never looked at me, but he said, erase that one. hella ego driven, you know. I don't want to erase it, but the nigga told me to erase it, so I erased it. I could have acted like I ain't erased it, but I erased it. So then I took another one and he didn't say no, so I guess he felt like it was cool. But the key is to always put artists in a good light. You know, just go to the mountaintop with it, man. Just really dig in and get and feel good about your shots. Feel good about. Another story. There's a guy in Atlanta. All right, saw my work on Facebook. Said, hey man, I am DM me. Said, hey man, I'm the CEO of the Atlanta Housing Authority. Right? I said, okay. He said, I need all my employees shot. We need new headshots. Okay, it's about 50 employees. Shit, okay, you know, I'll shoot them. Boom. Did a great job. Also, turn your work around on time, man. Turn the work around. Get it off your laptop and move on to the next project. You got to put that work in too. It's this work, this work. Folks want their pictures, and now y'all ain't like we used to be. We had to go get the film developed. We get them a contact sheet, you know, and you pick what you want. Now, niggas want their shit tomorrow. It's like, I just shot it, you know. Give me a minute. But that's the new game, right? They want their work. Pay me that way then. How about that? But folks want their work. Okay. Always add a day or two, and then be the dude that turn in the work when you know you can turn it in before that. Like if you know you can turn it around in 48 hours, tell them 4 days. Tell them 3 days. Then you make yourself look real good. You make yourself look like you're ahead of schedule. Those are things that are extremely important. Always give them an extra day and get it done the day before. Or 2 days before. Then they're excited and they want to see the pictures, and you be like, oh, I got you done early. I was gonna do that anyway, but I really want to make you feel like I'm taking care of you as my client. I got you. Thank you for having me. I want you to hire me again. Right? Thank you for hiring me. I want you to refer me. That's what I want, okay? So, turn the work in early. Always be on time. Okay, so listen. So I don't know if y'all know who my son is. I'm telling you, my son is Lil Yachty. One thing I did with him and for him as a father, which I think is one of the most valuable things a parent can do for a kid, is exposure. Right? Exposure. Ye got a line on Watch the Throne where he say, and it's my favorite line, he said, if you ain't accustomed to going through customs, you ain't been nowhere, huh? The more the more exposure you give a person, the broader their look is, the broader their reach is, the broader their thinking is. You ain't necessarily got to wait for somebody because some parents don't know that game. Some parents they know what they know. You know what I mean? You can't be mad at your parents for knowing what they know because their parents raised them a certain kind of way. Well, I was fortunate enough to have a dad that was a photographer. That I saw a working class mom go to work every day, and then my dad had his creative job that I thought was cool as shit. Because when people walked in our house, my dad used to print 4x6s and staple them to the wall. So we had one wall that was from this wall all the way down was just like 500 pictures, just pictures. I was fascinated that when you came over our house, you went straight to the wall. You can't not go look at that wall. It's full of pictures. Exposure, right? I'm seeing people get excited about this work. Every time I come in Cam's studio, I'm excited to see this work. I want to see your work. We can talk about it, but when you show somebody, it's a different beast. That goes back to me saying, print your work. Print it. Man, let me tell you something. When you print your own, for you, when you print your own work and you print your favorite 10 photos, when you got them laid out, man, and it's tangible and you touching that shit, like, God. It ain't on no screen. You're touching the fucking paper. You're looking at the detail and all that nigga shit. Like, it's my work. That shit is some proud shit, yo. I'm telling you, it's hella proud because you're looking at your work. Fuck around and get it framed and mat it or mount it. Come on, man. Come on, yo. Fuck around and mat and frame your shit. Now we doing it. Now my confidence is like, okay, you see it. You come in here, you see it. I ain't really talking no shit, you see it. Cam ain't got to talk no shit. You walk in here and you see it. Guess what? You fuck around and respect it then. Now we can talk dollars. Okay, you see, you see on my Instagram all that, but when you walk in here and it's tangible to you, you see it. Let me talk about this Erykah Badu shoot. So, I'm shooting Erica for this book. She's gonna be on the cover of this book. That's a crochet book, right? So the sister that book it is, I knew her, and her and Erica are best friends. So she knew my work, so she trusted me to shoot Erica. Erica had just did a show the night before, staying over in Buckhead. I forget the name of the hotel. We shoot this in a hotel room, and Erica told me, walk in, she kind of tired. She, it's the day after the shoot. It's like 12. She probably had just been up an hour or so. And she told me, straight up, you got 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes. I'm really not, And from the point she said, I got 15 minutes, I followed her in the bathroom when she started doing her makeup, shooting. I'm on it. You got 15 minutes. Erica saw my passion, and I swear to God, we ended up shooting for like 3 hours. Probably more than 3 hours because it was dark when we finished. And I was there, I was there from like 12 or 1, and I left about 8. We ate, she ordered food, we drinks, we put one up, because shit, I'm a vibe too. So you want to fuck with me. It ain't just you. You want to fuck with me too. Recognize your own shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna let me be here just because. You fuck with the kid. So this turned into, man, this shoot right here, I swear, man, I probably got 600 images. I was shooting like crazy. Matter of fact, we left the room, went down and shot in the lobby, went and shot outside. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say, be the person that they want around, okay? Be the person that, if you're gonna be in this entertainment industry, you gotta be the person that people want around. They want you around. If lobby call is at 6 o'clock, man, don't be scrolling up at no 5 till and they already on the bus or they in the car. Don't be that dude, because they don't need you. On tour, we as artists, honestly, if we're gonna keep it a buck, we're the least needed. We can be replaced, and we're the least needed. The important people are the people that are making sure the artists get their money. Make sure everything runs smoothly on tour. But I never, ever, ever show up late for lobby call. Nobody's waiting on me. That's what we're not doing. I'm not making nobody wait on me because I know that I'm not that fucking important, and I know that I can be replaced. But circle back. I exposed my son. I took him on shoots. I took him on all my shoots. I took him on so many shoots as a little boy, man. I took him on so many shoots, and it was because at the time I wasn't trying to be, I wanted him to know what I did. I wanted him to know what his dad did. I wanted him to understand. After every shoot, I show him my invoice. He's like, "Wow, Dad, you got paid that for 30 minutes?" I was like, "Yep." I wanted him to see what I did. It was important for me, for my child to understand that your dad is out here making a living from this camera, something he loves, something that probably for the first 13, 14 years of his life, I must have took his picture every day. I took my son's picture every day. And it's only because I love taking pictures. And I decided that I wanted to document my child. I wanted to document his life in pictures growing up. That's why not this album cover, but the last album cover was my shot from something 20 years ago when he's 24. So 23 years ago. I was inspired by Biggie's album cover. Y'all know the cover I'm talking about? I was inspired by that. I sat him on a white backdrop, put a chain on him, and he must have been, I did, he must have been 9 months. And my goal back then was I said one day I want him to hang this in his dorm room. That was my thing. I want him to be the kid on campus that had the dope pictures of himself that, from his childhood. That's what I was thinking. Stay inspired is what's important. Study other people's work. Study other people's work. You got to look up to somebody. You know what I mean? You ain't just the shit by yourself. You got to be inspired by somebody that came before you. You know what I mean? Study other people's work. It's you can see the nuances. You can see, study how, the editing process. If you're a videographer, study. If you're a photographer, study what's their niche. Everybody got their little thing. If you edit your pictures a certain kind of way, my thing is I like catching people in good moments. You know what I mean? I like capturing people in good moments that make them look good. Capturing people in the element. And how you capture people in their moments is you study them. You pay attention to them. You be ready. You pay attention to, are they a laugher? Are they a smirker? Do they like to just, whatever they like to do, study them. Study your subject. Study your subject. That's what's hella important. Study your subject at all times. Even if it's my first time working with you, I'm still paying attention. I'm still paying attention to you. And it don't take long to figure out, I talk with my hands. It don't take you long to figure that out. I'm passionate. It don't take you long to figure that out. These are things that are the human nature about people. These are things also that people that move people. That make people who they are. Yeah, it starts here. It always does. Yeah. And also, let me tell you something. My son picked his photographer and videographer from here. He came here to do a shoot. I don't know who he shoot with, Cam, but he was here. And his videographer / photographer was here working, interning. And I don't call him Yachty, I call him Miles, because that's his real name. But he chose that kid because of his character, because of who he is. If you ever been around, what's his name? Ari. Ari's a good fucking kid. He's a good dude, man. He's a good dude. So he know how his dad used to rock. That's what I want in my life. If I'm gonna take a photographer on tour, I want a good dude. I want a good dude. I want a solid dude. I don't want nobody that's, high soon. I smell you. You high already? Like, come on. Get high later. Let's work. Get this work in. Don't be the dude that is complicated. Miles hired that dude strictly off being a good dude, and then dude went over there. Miles said, look, come over. I want to meet with you on the spot. On the spot. How it happened for me. When I left shooting hip hop, I shot a wedding for this lady, okay? I don't even shoot weddings no more, really, sometime, but shot a wedding for this lady. Banged it out, okay? This is back when you put the 4x6s in the wedding album. You slide the joints in, you put the book together, made a nice book, gave it to her, okay? She loved it. She went to work for a company that had the Delta Airlines contract, right? So the graphic company she works for has the Delta Airlines contract. People don't know this, but airline hire photographers. Airlines have photographers. Delta Airlines is the headquarters here, okay? I'll tell you how this play went. All right. I shoot her daughter's wedding, do a good job. A week or two later, she called me. She says, "Are you available to meet with me and my boss? I may have an opportunity for you." I said, "Sure." Okay. Bring my portfolio, show up with my portfolio, show him my work. Now, honestly, I ain't got no corporate shit in there. I'm shooting hip hop. I'm shooting, all that kind of stuff. But work is work. I know if it's good or not. I see your composition. I know, if you know photography, you know if it's good or not. You know if I'm knowing how to chop feet and heads off or whatever, Dude says, "I like your work." He sees my work. He says, "I like it." We have the contract for Delta Airlines. We wrap everything. We wrap their shuttle buses that they take employees to the airport. To the employee parking lot. We all the stuff that's hanging in the headquarters. That's all of our stuff. He said, "We need a photographer. Delta needs a photographer." They immediately hired me on the spot. And then a week later, I was on my way to Ghana to shoot a project, and did that for 3 years. And it goes back to me not shitting on this lady at her wedding, I could have showed up late. I could have been professional. Guarantee you, I wouldn't have got that handoff to Delta, which ended up being a good look because I had just told myself years ago I want to travel around the world. So here I'm, a dude that looked like me in this corporate setting, jet setting, getting paid nice, okay? Then it turned into Delta. Let me tell you what Delta used to do. I used to partner with corporate communications. That's who used all the photos. You could say, "I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Italy this weekend." Delta would pay for your pay for your hotel, and give you a per diem in exchange for pictures that they could have to post on their site. You could go anywhere Delta flew, paid for, in exchange for your photos. So I was killing them. I was going everywhere. I was telling them. And they already had a white lady that was there, that was the main shooter or whatever. But my work ethic I came in so tough. She was older. She didn't drive at night. She did, all that kind of shit. I'm on it. You're not? I got it. Delta's the headquarters here. They sponsor everything. You see Delta everywhere. Chastain, Delta. You need pictures of artists. Me shooting at Chastain Park because the Delta logo's behind that. I'm on it. So then I became the go-to. So I went from hip hop to Delta Airlines, and then I said, you know what? After that contract was up, I said to myself, and this is no lie, I swear to God, I said to myself, I want to shoot Mike Epps because I feel like he's the next Richard Pryor. I felt like he was that dude in the black comedy world. Okay? How I got with Mike Epps. And this Mike, every time Mike come to town, he called me now. But let me tell you what happened was Mike did at the time, Mike was trying to help save the Tupac Center out in Decatur. Okay, so he had a free concert, all right? His assistant found out about me. I shot the concert, turned in the pictures, but while I was there, I was parlaying with Mike and his road managers like, look, man, I said, you should take me on the road. I said, what you do, it deserves to be documented. You should take me on the road, okay? I didn't try to stay off in Mike Epps' DM. No, I stayed in contact with his road manager. I kept the plug with him. Ended up touring with Mike. Mike went on tour. I was touring with Mike for like 6-7 years. Mike jumps on a tour with George Lopez, Charlie Murphy, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley. He do one show. They on a whole tour. The first show he do, we're in Tampa. He gets the call that he's getting ready to start filming a TV show. So he can't do no more of the tour. Yo, I'm pissed because now, I thought I was getting ready to get all these great shots, been on tour with these guys and George Lopez and all these different people. I still had my laminate. My laminate. What did I do? What I didn't tell y'all is after those 3 years at Delta Airlines, I parlayed that into getting a job at Delta. So as my contract was up, I had got cool with the CEO. And how I got cool with the CEO is that every event Delta would have at night, his wife would be there too. And his wife would be, gown dress, she'd be fly, whatever. I would shoot her too. I would shoot her, and then I say, let me get you guys together. I shoot them, and then I ain't go to the boss. I went to her, I said, give me your email. I started shooting her pictures. So every time I saw her and took a picture of her, I started sending her the picture. Not only if she wasn't at an event, I started sending her pictures of her husband, the CEO. One day I'm in the elevator with the CEO, swear to God. He said, Shannon, my wife loves you. And I didn't know this dude knew my name. He said, my wife loves you. You're always sending her pictures and she's so appreciative. Then I said, aha. So now she said, I want to do something. Me and her got a rapport now. I'm emailing his wife. I'm sending her pictures. Okay. It's his birthday. She wants to do something nice for him. She said, what can I do with these pictures? I said, let me make you a book. Go online, do a little book, 30 pictures, cost me under $100, $50, $60. Gave her the book to present to her husband of all the stuff he had been doing over this past year of me shooting, okay? Now I'm really looking like a G because I done gave you a book to present to your CEO husband of the company. On the elevator with him. My last day shooting, my last assignment, I said, Mr. Bastian, I said, first off, it was an honor to be able to photograph you, for these 3 years. It's a privilege. I said, this is my last assignment. My contract is up. And he said, oh, no, really? He said, I'm sorry to lose you. I said, well, I would love to, be a part of the Delta team. He said, here's my card. Call my assistant tomorrow. My secretary. Call my secretary tomorrow. Called the secretary. She said, he told me to expect your call. So she gave me she emailed me something like, show up here on Friday. I show up. Now, Delta is hard as hell to get in. I show up, walk in the interview. Didn't even really know it was an interview, but kind of knew it was an interview. Walked in the man's office. He was a black dude, real cool, older, cool dude. And I peeped, he was like, OG. And I'm getting ready. This is him at his desk. He's walking to his desk, and I'm like walking to sit. that chair always in front that you got to sit to be interviewed at. As soon as I'm getting ready to do this, he go, man, you got a damn job. You was just referred by the CEO. Come on, man. And if you tell them I ain't interview, I'm gonna tell them you lied. And I'm going into my 14th year. Okay, and I turned my shooting hustle into a work hustle, and now being an employee at Delta, I turned that hustle into shooting out of town because now I fly free. So now I can get that bag out of town because I got that Delta in my back pocket. I use Delta to eclipse something else, right? So it's all about walking yourself into another bag. How do you walk yourself into another bag? It's being open to being, open mindset, right? I filled up a whole passport off Delta. I'm on my second, I filled up a whole fucking passport between shooting for artists, shooting for Delta, and personal shit, going on trips on my own. But I filled up a whole passport. I told myself, and I believed it, I told myself years ago, I wanted my camera to take me around the world. I was dead ass, right? I went on tour with Lil Jon. It's still to this day the largest gross hip hop tour. It's the anger management tour. It was Lil Jon, it was 50, and it was Eminem. And I had got an assignment, which is, I don't know, the Source magazine is still popping, but it was the Source magazine. And I was shooting Lil Jon. Lil Jon, crunk music, is that shit. It's at the top of his game, okay? Lil Jon used to be a DJ before he was, he was a DJ. He used to be a DJ. We both went to Doug. We went to high school. I'm older, but we both went to Doug. We was there around the same time, but I was older. So we remember each other from school, but we really remember each other from the scene because he was DJing everywhere, okay? Source hires me to shoot him for, a story, okay? So I found out that I'm shooting. The dude comes to town from the Source. They always send a representative, whatever. Dude tell me, I'm going to be over at Stankonia if you want to meet me. I said, cool. So I go over there to meet dude, you know, but I take my camera. I take my camera with me, the Stankonia, because, you know, you don't know who's going to be a Stankonia. So, dude, after I meet dude, he don't try to play me, but he try to play me. So when Lil Jon arrived and some other people, you know, Lil Jon, he notices me. He know me, but he don't know me. So he dapped me up, and I said, I'm shooting you tomorrow for the Source. He said, oh, okay, cool. So now, dude telling me, all right, basically, you good, you can leave. You know, I met you, I'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I said, no, I'm gonna chill. You know, I'm just gonna, whatever. Man, I ended up getting in the studio with Lil Jon in E40. E40 showed up later, okay? Got some jewels, got some little off-the-cuff shots of them working on, I think it was Snap Your Finger. Fable came through, you know, and it's all because I put myself in that situation, put myself in the room, you know, I put myself, you know, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving yet. You can't tell me to leave, you know? Dude done invited me now, I'm in the room, okay? Let me tell you the next play. I printed that joint, that's like a 40-60. I know my sizes, but I printed a 30-40 of Lil Jon, okay? How I used to do with artists, I used to take a chance, okay? I take about $300-400 of my own money. I print and frame it, right? And then I show up at the studio with that motherfucker. How you gonna tell me no, you're not buying this? You can't tell me no. I just caught you. First off, I was just here a few days ago and I caught you in the studio. Let me find that picture. And now I done blew the shit up and came in here with this big ass frame and sit it in front of you and all your people around you and they wooing and awing like, oh shit, oh. Yes, you want that. I did it time and I wasn't killing them, but I was selling them for 2 stacks. I might have spent $300-400, you know. Printing it is less than $100. Framing it was about $250, and I was selling them for 2 stacks. And I was doing every artist I had a hard shot of, I was printing them shits and framing them. That was my play, you know, because now I'm putting that work in front of you. Now, I wasn't just printing no pictures. That ain't shit. I wanted to frame it. And back to being egotistical, they like to see they shit big. They want that shit big. I got a spot for that. I want it here. Now, the dude that ain't even popped off yet, but in the studio, now he want my number. You know, now he want to shoot with me off one picture. Because in his head, he want that look too, right? It goes back to how you make them look, how you make them feel. You know what I mean? You feel important. You make them feel important. You are important. I caught this shot of you, man. I just wanted you to see it, you know. And you ain't even losing because if they don't want it, it's a part of your shit now. It's okay. You ain't catch no L. Now it's in your catalog. Now it's at your crib when people come through. My crib is like this. My house is like this. I got pictures every fucking where framed. Gallery. Dumb gallery. Yeah. Full of it. Your work. I ain't never get mad when nobody didn't want to buy it. For what? Now it's in the crib. Or if I got to go up to tell you it was $2,500 and we end up settling at 18 or 15 or 17, it's still a win. And then you say this is a one of one. You make your shit look like I ain't printing no more. This is a one of one. And you put your logo, you sign that joint, and then in your handwriting, you say one of one. Or you say, this is one of 5. This is one of 2. This is one of 3. Okay. Don't ever go, there's going to be 100 of these. No. My work is exclusive. I'm doing a one of 2. I'm doing a one of, you own one, I own one. That's all that's out in the world now. So, of course, they really feel like, and I don't care who it is. It could be if you're shooting for a salon and you shoot somebody's hair. Print some of that shit and see what happens. They're going to buy it from you. They're going to buy it. They're going to want it because now pictures are a lost art. It's such a lost art. So you look that much better than the next photographer because they're not printing their work. They're sending over files, and they looking between either their laptop or their phone. Imagine this. Imagine charging an extra, if you can get away with an extra $100 to $150, whatever your rate is, overcharge a little bit, and then print something nice for them and gift it. You done made your money, but they don't know that, but you gift it to them. I do that a lot. I overcharge a little bit, then I print it and give it to them. Come on, man. Let me tell you what else I do. I got a guy that comes and works on my house. That I'm working on an Airbnb. Every time he come over, I gift him with something. I might give him a bag of that Cali. Or my lady might have baked the cake the day before, and she hook him up with big old slice of pound cake. He wants to come back. Why wouldn't you want to come back? It's worth it. I am taking care of you. You are taking care of me. Now the next time you come, you are really just going dumb, making sure my shit's super good. You want to take care of me because I'm a solid cat and I took care of you every time. Not sometime. Listen, my guy always say, I say, let me get you something. Oh no, I'm not thirsty. I want nothing. Well, you know what? I'm a connoisseur of drinks. I might have all kind of different drinks in my crib all the time. You know what, man? You know what? Taste this. Take that home. Have that later. What's that? And then when he get to the crib, he texting me, oh my God, this was so good. And where'd you find it? Where can I buy it? I always do that. Take care of people. That shit will come back. How the kids say, on God, it will come back. It really will. Don't worry about if you're doing too much. Always be of service. I learned that from my mother. Be of service. You look like a good ass person for going that extra mile, because everybody ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I want to FaceTime my son because he takes a photographer out, and I thought it would be dope for you to talk to a celebrity that takes a photographer out. Is that cool with y'all? So let's do that. Let's see if we can get him on FaceTime. Let's see if we can get this man on the. Let's see. All right, cool. So I'm in my class, man, and I wanted to hit you because I was telling him how you got your photographer here, Ari.
The art we were also just seeing his work and talent. I think that's where everything starts with talent. But I mean, as far as like comfortability, that you want to make sure that the vibe is proper. But I think it started initially with talent, with me seeing his work.
What made Ari different than any other videographer?
Well, at first, I think at first I just thought it was really talented, but now, his work ethic, I haven't met a videographer that comes close to his work ethic, and just he will push it out, no matter what tools you give him, he's going to finish the project. He uses his imagination, he makes it happen, he never complains, and you know what I'm saying, like he just the hard work. And a lot of people aren't hard workers with this, realistically, to be honest. So that's what sets them apart. I've never even had the chance to really build something. You know, like anything that I've done in front of art 5 minutes before. Like, yo, alright, well, you know what I'm saying? In 30 seconds, I need you to make me this, So if I ever gave him a chance to actually really build something, I was ready,
So yeah, it goes back to work ethic. It goes back to what I was telling y'all earlier. Are you gonna put the work in? Is Ari introducing ideas to you, or are they your ideas that he's implicating?
It's both. It's both. I think more so You specifically, I'm extremely picky. You know, and I built this relationship with, really well, so he knows what I don't want to do. He knows what I like, but he also knows as, it's important to have a real relationship with your client or whoever you're working with, because you want to know, and you want to bring out a side of them that, they don't see. You got to do the homework, take the time, get to know this person, so you can do your job to the best of your ability.
Goes back to relationships, relationships are very, very important, If the artist respects you and respects your craft, they'll receive what you have to say. If they don't really respect you or they don't respect your craft, then they're not going to receive what you have to say.
100% at all. If you don't respect, I don't even care. I don't care what you're saying. Because you gotta think about it though. You gotta think about how many photographers and videographers there is standing outside of the club. So if I don't know your face or know your work, for what? It's 100. It's 100 flashing lights.
And that goes back to me telling y'all is how are you gonna stand out? How are you gonna be different?
And this is another thing, guys. Depending on what field you want to go in, it's super, like what part kind of photography, it's super important to then be good at videography, photography, graphic designing, editing. Nobody wants. Why would I hire you? You can only snap pictures, and I can go get my boy right here to the left, who can take the picture, edit the picture, and he can record me on stage all at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I hire you over him? I can knock out 3 bills right here. That's why it's another reason why I hire this is what I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So teach yourself all elements. Like, don't just master one side of this shit. Now, you don't have to be the best all around, especially if you came to be a photographer, but have something else to offer.
Offer more, be more, do more, outwork anybody else. And
that's what it takes to be a photographer, because you fight in a pool full of fishes. Everyone's talking now.
That's why you got to be on your super hustle. Everybody doing what you do. Ari turns shit around. He don't be playing. Ari got a work ethic. Turn the work.
Day. Ari is crazy.
Same day, yeah.
That's crazy. Ari is crazy. Same day before I lay my head down, the music video is shot and edited.
See?
What the fuck just shot this? He got his business. He don't come on the road and smoke and then go clubbing and, you know what I'm saying? Like, he in the hotel room editing everything we just did. You know what I'm saying?
What I just tell you, you're not there to be the artist's friend. You're there to work. And that's what's going to keep you around. Your work ethic. Turn that work around. He didn't even expect it the same day. And he got his work the same. He got his video shot and edited the same day.
Love,
You want to
Look
tell
good, Dad. You look good. You look good.
You want to tell him?
He's fire.
You want to tell him how dope your pops was back in the day?
Man, you mean how dope my pops is now?
Hey. That's love.
Like, let me tell you about Cam, right? Let me tell you why I always thought Cam Kirk was so cool, right? Because when I was in high school, and I wanted to be a fucking rapper, Cam offered this side showing you artists. He was showing you a side of artists from his view, So he was doing vlogs on YouTube years ago. He's showing you Gucci in his normal element. He's showing you Doug in his normal element. Like, no one's asking for that when he took out upon his own hands to show you what was behind the scenes at the festival or in the studio with fucking Travis Scott or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? Then you see the photo and you matching the photo to the fucking thing, like, man, this is what they were doing, and it was just like, man, doing extra. No one told him to do a YouTube and do all that, do extra, we went the extra mile, you know what I'm saying? Which we a kid in school, in high school. I'm like, man, this guy's fucking cool.
And you know what? You when you were in high school, you told me about Cam Kirk. I
bunch of times.
He not just gonna say you dope because you got a camera. He knows art, and the difference is he grew up in it. You know, me, his dad, his grandfather, he knows art. So for him to be in 12th grade or 11th, I don't know what he was in, 11th or 12th, and to be telling me about Cam, Kirk, and Gunna, you know, I knew they were dope. Like, I was really looking forward to meeting you, brother, because he had gassed you up real good.
Man, that's love, man.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't know if you can hear me, bro, but I swear, bro, that meant so much just hearing you say that, bro. You got no idea. You got no idea, bro. Like, you got no idea, man. That means so much to me, bro. Real shit. And even Shannon, like, when I met Yachty, I never forget when I met Yachty. I met him at a 2 Chainz Christmas party. Everyone in the crowd said, you didn't know Yachty. You didn't know this guy Yachty. And I met him, and the first thing he said was, my dad's a photographer.
Wow.
So I know about you, and I respect what you do.
Right on.
And that meant so much to me. And I still tell this story, Yachty, to this day, like, about, you know, I don't know if you remember how much that means to you, but like, I remember I said to you, and I was like, yo, bro, if you meet me in my office tomorrow, I'll meet with you. We come to meet tomorrow. Like, you serious about want to work with me? And I wasn't shit back then. I ain't gonna prep, but I was like feeling good. Like, you want to meet with me? Meet with me tomorrow. We can meet tomorrow. We can talk about it. And you pulled up the next day. You know what I mean? As humble as can be, you played me all the records that are now platinum plaques and all that, man. And that just meant so much to me that you were honestly like first generation. I honestly say, I say this all the day, of where I am today. You the first generation of that. You sparked that. You allowed me to be Cam Kirk. And you know what I mean? Like, it means so much to me, bro. Like, I can't even really put it into words, man. Like, I never even expected to come in this room and hear you say that. Like, I didn't expect you to be here, to be honest. But to hear you say that, bro, like, I never heard that before. I can't even put it into words, man. I love you, bro. Like, that shit means so much to me, bro. Real shit. I love what you're doing with Ari. Like, this shit means a lot to me. This shit dope. I hope y'all love this shit. Because I love this shit, man. This shit dope, man. I swear.
It's all, you know, it's all authentic and organic, bro. You know,
100%.
and it's genuine, you know, like everything I just said was the honest truth, you know, because when I was in high school, I was in yearbook committee, you know, I was making the yearbook, and I was stuck between what I wanted to do in life. I didn't know. Well, I knew I wanted to be a rapper, but like that sounded so far-fetched. So it's like, damn, do I go to college, you know, photography, or do I want to be in front of the camera? Front of the camera or behind the camera? And it was, you know, it's being behind the camera seemed a lot more obtainable because, you know, obviously my father's a photographer, but like, man, watching you and watching behind the scenes and seeing all that shit, it was, no one else was doing it. Yeah. You know, you had no one else showing you or what these artists that I listen to every day were doing behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's prominent, bro. It's prominent, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I was just saying to them, it's important to take that extra step, you know, and provide something more, you know, and showcase yourself a different way. That was him showcasing himself in a different like that, like of what he's doing and where he's at and who he is. You know what I'm saying? Just posting your pictures on your Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool too. That's cool too. But it's more to it than that. You know, there's so much more to it than that. Now everyone's sitting in this fucking studio right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know any other young black photographer with their own studio.
Exactly. Same. And the way they work collectively together too, you know, I can only imagine if I would have had this, you know, when I was y'all age, you know, this is super dope what you're doing, Cam. Super dope.
Man, it's fast though because he's giving an opportunity for all these guys, you know what I'm saying, and a platform, you know, like to the point where I never seen. And it hold weight now. It's almost like a degree. You say, I'm with Cam Kirk. I was like, oh, okay, it's something. You know what I'm saying? I hope the name holds weight, which is awesome.
You're official. They know you're official.
We are black, so it's like, you know, and that makes it most awesome. But I'm about to get something to pick in.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, man. Love you, man.
That's all love. Love you too.
All right, peace. All right, that was good. Yeah.
So many gems, man. It's been so reassuring to hear someone talk this is a very touchy subject because so many people have different perspectives on what it's like to work with a celebrity or an artist, and they always say what they would do if they was in that situation or this and that. And you've done nothing but give us the honesty. You know what I mean? From good or bad or whatever the case may be. Man, you don't know. I appreciate that to the fullest. I do have one. I have a bunch of questions. I have one right now.
Yes.
And I hope this sparks maybe some of y'all to ask some more questions. But the one question I have, and I'll be transparent with it as I ask this question. One of the things I struggle with as a personal photographer for an artist, especially when the years get in, you start working with artists for a year, 2 years, maybe months. How do you make sure that you are documenting the moment and not getting caught up in the moment? Because so many times I miss a moment I didn't document because I'm laughing with the artist. I'm hee-heeing like, wow, that was so dope. We're getting experiences for the first time. But you have to understand that you're experiencing it for the first time. That artist experiencing it for the first time, and they want to document it.
Absolutely.
Take yourself
out of the picture.
Say, although I'm experiencing this for the first time, it ain't about me right now. I'm in a position where I have to document it.
And capture it.
How do you deal with that? Traveling with artists, new cities, new states, and you might see monuments that you're like, this is my first time seeing it too. But I gotta capture this natural reaction for the first time.
I've been put in that situation so many times, man. And you know, a story that I have that I'll share is I got the opportunity to be in a small room back in the either early 2000s or late 90s, and Farrakhan came to town. And Farrakhan came to town, and he was in a room like this talking to exclusive little Atlanta rappers, change the narrative of, y'all telling the rappers, T.I., Killer Mike, and some executive guys like, y'all hold the weight. Y'all the guys that can change the narrative, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. So I'm literally like shooting for where you are. And Farrakhan's up here, and the team, and the rappers are in the room, and Killer Mike started crying. He got emotional because Farrakhan, he wasn't playing. He was talking some real shit. So I'm in this moment like, how many times you get to be in a room where rappers are getting called on their shit? Are you really community? Are you really about the community? Or you just, you do your turkey drive? You know what I'm saying? And Farrakhan gave it real raw like that. And anyway, after I'm shooting, and I'm so locked. It's Farrakhan talking, first off. You know what I'm saying? We're in a small setting with Farrakhan. So I'm listening, I'm all in. Soon as he's done talking, it's over, right? And he's now Killer Mike and T.I. are like right here, talking to Farrakhan, right? So now I'm like right here because I want that, and now I have the opportunity to, say something or shake his hand or, because I'm so close, and it's Farrakhan. This is cat. I listen to his speeches. All this. And I took myself out of the equation instead of trying to, Farrakhan, can I get that selfie? Something stupid, I took myself out of the equation and I said, you are a documentarian. Get this moment, man. So that's when I backed off and kept my photography hat on, if you will, because I told myself, I want to see this moment later. Because I could forget it until it comes back up as a story. But man, ain't nothing like going back through your old stuff and seeing your work. And then it put you right back in that moment, put you right back in that room to be like, wow, I was there. Like, I didn't finish telling y'all the story about, okay, the guy who saw my work on Facebook, he hired me to shoot his employees. He was the CEO of Atlanta Housing Authority, okay? So I shoot the employees, I do a good job, whatever. He leaves Atlanta years later and becomes CEO of New Orleans Housing Authority, okay? He says, yo, you did a great job in Atlanta. I'm the guy that's over in New Orleans. It was just Katrina. Katrina was just over, okay? Obama's in office, okay? He said, look, my company just rebuilt the 9th Ward. He said that they're mixed income now. You know, it's lower income people that were living in the 9th Ward, and then there are also people that, you know, can afford to, you know how they do when they gentrify, you know, some townhouses or condos. You know, you got people that can afford to live there, and then you got the people that get the fixed rent income situation of how much you make. Okay, so he said, Barack and Michelle are going to come to our property and see what it looks like now since we rebuilt. And he says, I want you to be, you know, my photographer for the Obamas. And I'm just like, oh wow. Like, if any president you want to shoot as a young black man, it's Barack, right? So they send my clearance stuff off to the White House, because you got to be cleared for the White House, so you even anywhere close to the president. Send my stuff off. I clear, get my White House photographer press badge. I'm in New Orleans, and you know I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, like this is finna be a moment for me. So I get there like 2 hours early. I'm hella early, and they sat me in an empty apartment until he came to the motorcade arrived, right? I'm sitting there. Next thing I know, I mean, if you ever been anywhere near a motorcade, you can hear it coming. You know, you can hear it's like a fire truck that you can't see yet, but it's coming, because the sirens are getting louder and clearer and clearer. So all I'm hearing are sirens and motorcycles. You know, I'm just like, oh shit, it's happening now. It's happening. Okay. So press chick come get me out the apartment and said they're 2 minutes away. They're 60 seconds away. And they say, you know, you see, you know, the motorcade come and Barack and Michelle's car pulls up right in front of me. And they go out and they open the door, and Michelle gets out. And first off, there were other cars behind his car. So and in front of his car, but they're like press people, they're other photographers, and I'm the only black photographer. Everybody else is white. Everybody else and all the press people. So when the Obamas get out, Michelle gets out first, and Barack gets out. I can't even put into words what kind of moment that was for me, because that's like, you know, like what the fuck, you know, it's the Obamas, and they immediately came out the car. They went and got interviewed, because it was NBC Nightly News was there, and they did an interview with them, and then they walked the property. Like him and Michelle with the bodyguards and all that shit walked the property. I got to walk with them. And I wasn't like, hold my hand, Barack. I wasn't that close. But I was like, this is the Obamas, and that's me, where he is. And as soon as Barack saw me, man, it was like, you know how, you ever been put in a situation where you could tell the other black person proud of you? You know what I mean? Like you felt, it was like, damn, we got one of our own, you know, out here with me. And he felt proud of me, and I smiled, he smiled at me, and I smiled at him, and I didn't even have to take a picture. But that moment right there meant everything to me. And of course, I must have let off about 30 frames. And it was drizzling, and I got Barack holding the umbrella for Michelle. And after he looked at me, he's walking straight ahead, but he still got the, you know, if someone smiles and it's a for real smile, like if it's a for real laugh, it doesn't go away quickly. It's that lingers a little bit. It's still there, right? You know, it takes a minute for them to go back to their, you know, that smile is there, that smirk is still there. And I captured that. I captured him still smirking as he's walking, and with Michelle holding the umbrella. And, you know, now that piece hangs over my parents' fireplace. You know, it's that size. But, you know, it was a moment, man. And it goes back to what I said earlier is you may do a little $500 job, $400 job, you know, it's okay. sometimes that $500 job turned into some hella. I gave this dude a deal. I shot like 50 fucking people for $50 a piece. That's a lot. Even though I still made some cool money, $50 ain't a lot to take headshots, and you setting up lights and you fucking doing this, and you dealing with different people. That's a whole nother monster in itself. And no knock to the women, but sometimes y'all extra as fuck, and it's you know, let me see my picture, and you know, all that's taking up time. I got my light set up where I want it. You sit right here, ma'am. Boom, boom, boom. Next. Boom, boom, boom. Next. And I wasn't necessarily getting that, but because he understood that. Even though I was like, yo, this is taking way longer than it should have, because when you're dealing with 100 and some people, and then you got to organize a group shot at the end, people, if you don't take control of the shoot, so you right here, no, you stand right there, look at me, don't look at the camera phone, don't look at somebody holding a big ass iPad trying to take a picture, look here. You got to lead the motherfuckers, right? You got to lead them. It's up to you. Right? You take control of your shoot. When you do that, and people that hire you see how you move. I got to shoot in New Orleans, shooting the fucking Obamas. Off of a $50 headshot shoot. $50 headshot shoot. I got to, even in I got paid $3,500 to shoot the Obamas, but it wasn't about that money. It was about, I got put in this space. I got put in the room because of some shit because how my character was and how I acted back then. Just what my son said. He walk outside the club, it's hundreds of photographers, hundreds of videographers. Everybody shoot now, man. Everybody. But be different. Same camera, different eye. Be fucking different. Own your different shit. Come to work fly. Come to work professional. Be on your game. Be on your square. Be solid in your shit. You got to fuck with somebody that's solid. You got to. They showing you who they are. Just like if somebody come in and they bullshitting, you know what? It's a one-off. I won't be using you again. That happens too. Yes.
I was just wondering over your career if you have any like moments that some might perceive as failures that you learned that stuck with you. What was that, and what was the lesson?
They're never failures. They're lessons learned. Yeah. They're lessons learned. And yes, I have. I didn't take an extra battery. I'm shooting all day. My battery might have died. I didn't bring my charger. I showed up one time to a shoot with no fucking SD card. You know what I mean? Yo. Yo. It happens. You know what I mean? I have to, let me tell you something. She said, my boy is in Atlanta. He got a shoot. And he only got one battery. I don't even know this dude.
But who fell him though?
But because he came through somebody I rock with, and her message to me, she kept reiterating, he's a good dude, he's a good dude, he's a good dude. I said, you know what? Okay, cool, I'll give him my battery. I gave my address, he came over. At first, I made him sit outside and wait for me. Because it's the crib. Let me keep it a buck. I don't know you. I don't know you. And my girl wasn't dressed, and you know, come on, man. So he sat outside on the front porch, and my battery wasn't already all the way charged, so I was charging the phone. I said, give me about 10 minutes, and I can have you a good charge. I felt this vibe, though. You know what I mean? You know how you can feel somebody's energy. You know if you're gonna come in here and you looking through my shit, that's another thing. But if I feel like you're a solid dude, or if you're a solid woman, and I invited him in, he came in, we started talking, he started asking me about my work on the walls. Next thing I know, dude telling me that he's a food photographer. He shoots food, and he shoots from the farming when it comes out the ground to the table, So I was inspired by what he does. Like, that's dope. But it starts with, who are you? Who's your character? Anybody can't text me and ask me for a battery. I don't know you. Do I feel like responding? Am I in that place where I want to give you a battery? But it came from somebody that's solid, so I said yes. Yes.
During your artistic downtime, how do you actively find inspiration? And downtime, I know a lot of us probably share this, that we think that that's like, we feel like we're failing because we're not working. But I personally started to look at it like, when you go to the gym, you rest, and you come back and you're stronger. So how do you actively find inspiration during those moments?
I'm constantly looking at photographers' work. I'm on other photographers' pages. I'll go to your page, and then I'll see who liking your work and see if it's a photographer. And then I'll go to his page, and I'll get to going and scrolling and looking at his work. I'm constantly studying other people's work. I stay on his page studying his lighting. He don't even know that. I'd be on his page looking at his lighting. You know what I'm saying? How he lighting his subjects. Yeah, his lighting game is crazy. So I'm constantly looking at other people's work. That inspires me, because I don't shoot every day. You know what I mean? I'm not shooting every day. But you don't have to shoot every day, you know?
So you kind of broke it down for us through different anecdotes, your journey from you set a goal, okay, I'm gonna go get that, the next one, and then the next one. As you're looking at continuing to, everybody has their own mountain that they're trying to scale. I guess if you could direct us to a point of what's next, and it doesn't have to be a particular project or any particular thing, but what do you see for yourself as the vision for where you're going next and why?
What's my vision? What's next and why? So now I'm at a place in my life. I've been shooting 30 years. I'm at a place in my life now where my work is content now. It's content. So I just did a deal with Mass Appeal. And Mass Appeal, what they're doing now is they're getting ready to jump into the remember the shows of the artists, where are they now, or something like that. Anyway, Mass Appeal is gonna do on, I forgot what network, but they're taking artists and they're doing like a documentary on the artist, if you will, like TV One do those old school, unsung. So Mass Appeal is doing that now. And the first artist up is Lil Jon. So I don't even know how they found me. It goes from, you search enough stuff or whatever, but and also keep ownership of your shit. Keep ownership of your work. When my son told me, he said, "Dad, I'm gonna use that picture for my album cover," and the baby picture, him naked on there, and I was like, "Wow, really?" So he said, "Yep," and I said, "Okay." So the label came. So let me tell you how the label did me, and this is how they'll do you. Let me tell you how they do you. Let me tell you how they will do you. Okay, so. We're not even gonna start about this is my fucking child. Number one, okay? He Yachty to y'all. He's Miles McCollum to me, right? He the little nigga I seen come out his mama womb. And I was there from there to today, right? Let's start with that. But number two, let's start with, it's my work. When they wanted to sign him, they flew me and his mama out to LA and they wooed the fuck out of us, right? We can do this for your son. We can do that. We can do all this shit. We're gonna do this for him. We're gonna make him this, all that. Okay, when it's time to, let's talk about this bread for this album cover, they offer me like $1,000, man.
Talk about it.
Maybe 12, but I think it was more like 1,000. And I sat on that response. Oh, and the way the text message came, and I wish I could say who. I can't get that far. But the text message came through, and it might not have been 1,000, man. I might be reaching. It might not have been 1,000. But anyway, they was like, He's like, yeah, the label told me, that we don't really, put budgets into this because we didn't hire you. We didn't, and so this is what we can give you for it, So I didn't respond for like a day or two, right? And now I'm slick pissed because come on, man, you really tried me. So then I said, oh, let me tell you what they made the mistake of doing. And they didn't make it, he made it. He was so excited about the artwork, he posted it. He posted the artwork. And before that, he might have posted it and within minutes. What's your email? I send a certain person in the label camp my email. I get a contract back fast as fuck. They hit me with the contract super fast, right?
Oh, man.
You think I'm gonna sign this? Come on. For real? And just like I told him, when Miles graduated high school and was fucking famous 6 months later. Like, it took us all by surprise, right? It happened so fast. But let me tell you something. Me working for Delta, and I'm gonna go back to the record label story. But me working for Delta gave him so many motherfucking opportunities because when he was in 11th grade, I took him to LA. Him and my daughter. I took him to LA for the weekend. And my boy is from Atlanta. Y'all remember when the Reality World TV shows were popping off so big? They were everywhere. VH1 had all the housewives of this and that. Well, my boy was a producer. So he got in early, made a bunch of fucking money, and was living up in the Hollywood Hills. Was renting this big dumb house. Had multiple pools. I mean, just fucking living. So I said to him, hey man, please let me bring my kids out. I want them to see this. I be thinking black kids need to see this kind of shit. You need to see that shit, man. You can ride in the car and ride through neighborhoods, but when you step in a door in somebody's crib and that shit like, and I went to school with the nigga, like, I want my kids to see this shit. Like, this nigga from the West End. He from the West End. We used to catch the 71 Cascade together. We used to walk to the train station. This nigga took a chance and left Atlanta and moved to LA and popped his shit off. I want my kids to see this. If he would have said no, things would have been totally different. I said, I promise you, we just want to lay our head down. Like, I'm trying to take my kids all over for 2 days. I'm trying to show them Malibu. I'm trying to show them Beverly. I just want them to see shit. That was my thing. Exposure. Miles sees the house, 1000% inspired. He's like, wow, Dad, I would like this. I could live like this. I was like, that's why we here. I want you to see this shit. Like, it's obtainable. I don't know how, but with work ethic, he did it. Okay, art on the wall. He an art collector, nigga buying art from all photographers and painters. Dope crib. Okay. After that weekend, I worked for Delta. He's a junior in high school. Miles said, Dad, can I come back to LA? And he said, can I go? I gotta talk to your mom. The mom's like, nah, you can't go out there without your dad. You know what I said? Let him go. If he fuck up, then you can't go again. That's how I used to treat him. He wanted it when he had a curfew. If I tell you your curfew's at 11:30, be home at 11:30. Because if you don't, you're gonna fuck it up. It's always something popping on the weekend. You're gonna wanna go somewhere. Don't be late. You know what Miles did? He was fucking on time every time. And when he was late, Dad, I'm 10 minutes away, I swear. I'm on the way, Dad. Because he didn't want to fuck up that privilege. The ball is in your hand. If you fuck it up, I didn't come in late. So long story short, I told his mother, let him go. If he fuck up, we won't let him go again. He goes out there, has a blast, comes home. Dad, can I meet him in New York next weekend? Mama still on that. Why you letting him go? Why you doing that? Let the boy go. He's showing you he's mature enough. We slip him $50, $60. He don't need much. He eat pizza. Shit, he don't need much. Let him go. He goes. This time he's at the studio. He wasn't even rapping. He wasn't even Yachty. He's in the studio with ASAP and Kanye. Kanye, he like, Dad, I'm in the studio with Kanye West. Like he's literally calling me from the corner of the studio, like, you ain't gonna believe this, Dad. Yo, I swear. He said, Dad, Kanye said I remind him of him when he was 15. He asked me, can I come back the next weekend? I said, okay. Flies home. He says, Dad, Kanye wants me to get fitted for the Yeezy fashion show. He said, you can't tell nobody. I said, okay, cool. So now his mama ain't on all that. She let him go. We let him go, okay? Me and Miles are at the gate. We're sitting at the gate, and young Thug walked by us. And he getting on the plane because, he in the show too, okay? Miles said to me, if I get this, Dad, my life gonna change. I feel it, Dad. My life gonna change. Okay? He flies to New York. He hit me. I'm here. I'm good. He hit me after the fitting. He said, Dad, I got it. I'm in the show. I said, what? He said, I'm gonna be in the Yeezy fashion show. I said, Miles, oh my God, that's dope, right? So Miles got a mouthpiece on him. He know how to talk. They were all in, if you go back to that year that the Yeezy show was at Madison Square Garden, they all in a neutral color, like a khaki color, okay? Kanye comes to Miles and puts him in a red sweatshirt, a red hoodie or some shit. And Miles says to Ye, he said, you should put me in the front. You should put me in the front with the red hair and the red, and Kanye said, you right. Put him in the front. It's a tarp over the thing. Yeah. When they lifted that tarp and I saw my kid on the fucking front, bruh, my phone went dummy all night. Just texts, calls all night. The next day, he's on the cover of, not the cover, but he's on Vogue.com. He's on Adidas.com. He's everywhere. Okay? Nobody knows who this redhead kid is. He ain't even know Lil Yachty. He ain't even rapping. He ain't doing none of that. He just a dude, really, he just wanted to be into fashion. That was his shit for real. He just wanted to be into fashion. All right. Now, you're trending. So now I'm really letting him go and be. So now ASAP decides he wants to sign Miles. He tried to sign Miles for $10,000. Imagine if my kid didn't have no fucking sense and had signed on the dotted line. You would sign his life away, basically, He told him no, okay? Long story short, the shit just, his life went on a fucking roller coaster. He just started getting all these deals. Then he comes over to my house one day and he said, Dad, I got this song. I said, song? He said, yeah. So I didn't know, but I'm sure every one of y'all know, on SoundCloud, you can see your numbers grow. You can see where. You can literally see your numbers growing, okay? His numbers started, he was like, Dad, my song is blah, 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 blah. I ain't get to hear the song, and then I'm just like, what? What you doing? You singing, you rapping, what? So, long story short, after I saw that shit, I was just like, yo, he started texting me that he was getting offers to do shows for like $500 or whatever. I said, you need a manager, man. I got to get you a manager. You need a manager. He's like, I got a manager. I forgot the little dude name who was his manager. Yes. Yes, the African dude. Zeus. Yeah. Yo, so Zeus is his manager, and I like Zeus. But Zeus wasn't no... You're a nigga that's into fashion. You fly. You ain't on this record label side. You don't know how to do that. So I hit Coach, because Coach was my nigga from way back. Relationships. Miles didn't even ask me to hit him. crazy story is, I hit Coach. Coach tell me, he said, yeah, come by. He said, I got a studio on Northside Drive, you know. He said, come by the studio, bring him. He sees Miles. First off, he remember Miles. He said, talking about Lil Miles? Talking about Lil Miles? I said, yeah. I said, he fucking rapping now, bro. He said, and I said, and he got little numbers on SoundCloud. I don't know what he doing, but he got little numbers. When I brought him over to the studio and he saw his look, okay, number one, he saw his look. He said, we can do something here. We can do something here. Before even trying to sign him, he took him to New York. He took him to YouTube. He took him to Spotify. He took him to all these places. And just got his name, you know, circulating, got him interviews, all this kind of shit. Then, Coach hits me, he said, bruh, your son DM'd me about 6 months ago. I ain't even open that shit. He said, I get so many people that DM me, I ain't even open that shit. That's what happens. But if you are connected through somebody, relationships, me co-signing, you co-signing me. Nah, Shannon cool, bro. Nah, bro. You know, you give somebody that, they like, okay, I'm and the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? So, relationships, we ain't even talking about a camera right now. We talking about you. We talking about you. Before you even pick up the fucking camera. It's like if you take gun lessons. They give you gun safety before you can go in there and start fucking, you know. Safety, in this case, before picking up the camera, character, exposure. Don't wait for nobody to give you exposure. Go see shit on your own. Go do that shit yourself. He had an advantage because his dad worked for Delta. Exposure, character. Separate yourself from everybody else. There's about 20 photographers in here. It's fucking 20,000 outside these walls. Be the person that's got necks. Wanna have necks. Wanna be the person that is driven by being a good person. I always say this shit, man. If you're a good person, just like if you're a bad person. If you're a bad person and you get drunk and you act a fucking fool, you know, we remember that. We remember that. You don't know how to act when you get drunk. But if you're a good person and you're the person that's loving and huggy when you get drunk and I love you and all, and not just when you're drunk, but in everyday life. Like people can count on you. Like for real, they can count on you. That shit transcends. It's like, you know a mind game I play? This is a mind game I play with myself. Two things I do. One is, if ain't no car on the road and I gotta make a left, I still put on the blinker. I can just bust that left. Ain't nobody fucking coming. I'm training myself to put on my blinker. I hate a motherfucker that don't let me know you getting over. Let me know. I'm gonna let you know. Use your fucking blinker. So I train myself to use my blinker, even when I'm not there. Another thing I do is I count to 5 before the light turns green. I see too many motherfuckers run these lights. I done watched somebody get their shit smashed that jumped out there because it turned green. Count to 5, count to 3, count to 4. Okay? Little things. Train yourself to be that dude or that person or that woman. Train yourself. Talk it out, manifest it. And that's how you win. Man, let me tell you something. That shit started from within for real. My son was hella confident. One time, and then we can stop. One time, he was 7 years old, and I was taking him and his friend to Cheese, what is it? Chuck E. Cheese. I was taking him to Chuck E. Cheese. Yo, I used to dress him hella preppy. I used to have him in polo shirts and New Balance and khakis, and I had all color polo shirts, all color, pink, green, yellow. He wore them all. The little boy got in the car. We picked this little boy up. As soon as he got in the back seat with Miles, He said, you got on a pink shirt. That's a girl shirt. You know, they 6'7". You know, little boys do that kind of shit. They try to embarrass you. And Miles turned to him and said, you don't know nothing about this. Shut him down. You can't even, how you gonna joke me? You can't. You don't even know about this pink, nigga. It shut him down, and we heard no more else from that. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that, I walk this walk, I talk this talk, I believe in myself. Come on, man. You walk in it. Now, now I'm here with it. And I'm showing you every day, every time you see me with this camera, I'm busting their ass because I'm getting my shots. When I shoot, if I'm shooting an event, if I'm shooting not just an artist, I'm shooting a show, if I'm shooting anything, I am looking for shots. I'm not waiting on a shot to come to me. I'm not waiting on a shot. I am not waiting on a shot to come to me. I am going out looking for the shot. I want it. Oh, let me get that. You, man, them Yeezys right there. Let me, pop. You looking cute. Pop. I'm getting it. I'm creating content. Create content. That's what you gotta do. Create content. Don't wait for it to come to you, because it might not. Opportunities don't always come your way. Create opportunities. And you'll get more. You'll get more opportunities in. Because whoever's, man, I can't tell you how many times people done came up to me that had nothing to do with being at the wedding I was shooting or being at the event I was shooting. I done had so many people come up to me and said, I know you got some good shots. I saw you. You were there and you were there. I saw you. I know you got good shots. Creating my shit. I'm not waiting. I'm popping my shit off. I'm making it happen. I'm not waiting. I ain't bragging. I'm just confident in that manner. I'm gonna make it happen. I'm not waiting. I'm that nigga. I'm telling you I'm that nigga. I'm showing you I'm that nigga. And then when you see the work, you gonna say, yep, you that nigga. Word.